we still faithful. I'ma put it all on the table. We forever faithful. Yeah, we still faithful.
What's going down, 49er faithful? Thank you for tuning in to Keeping the Faith. I know I haven't been around in a minute. Been dealing with some health stuff, but we're good. We're back. And we have a little bit of a Brock Purdy update / rumor that I want to get into. Of course, the NFL draft is right around the corner, so I'm going to be talking about that. I'm very excited for that. Stay tuned on this channel. Make sure you have your notifications on, because when the NFL draft is happening, I will be dropping my NFL draft reaction videos to every single 49ers pick. I know a lot of you guys ask about those videos and were wondering if those would be coming back, and yes, they are. So make sure you have your notifications on, make sure you're subscribed, all that, because those videos are coming. But the reason for this video today, I wanted to get into a rumor that I saw on Twitter or X by a guy by the name of Shane Stern. Now, look, I'm not the kind of guy who will come on here and talk about these fake reports from the fake Ian Rappaports or the fake Adam Schefters or other fake Twitter rumor news guys that you see. When I bring up stuff like this from guys that you may or may not have heard of, it's because these guys are people that I have followed for a long time on the platform and seem to have a pretty good track record with knowing their stuff, with knowing what they're talking about. And so this guy, Shane Stern, is a gentleman that I followed for quite some time who seems to be connected on some level. And he had something very interesting to say regarding 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy. Now, let me bring up the tweet so you guys can see what I'm referring to. So Shane Stern on Friday tweeted, 53.5, 5 years, 198 guaranteed. The guaranteed is still being finessed, and as that is finessed, it may adjust the average annual value slightly, but I think this gets wrapped up before April 21st, but shit happens, don't spam me. Now, what he's referring to here, the 53.5, that is the average annual value of the deal, $53.5 million over 5 years, which, if you do the math, comes up to $267.5 million over 5 years paid out to Brock Purdy, with $198 million in fully guaranteed money. Now that is just that statement right there is crazy. He says, obviously the numbers are still being finalized and finessed and worked out, so they may fluctuate a little bit, but he's giving you kind of the framework of what he's hearing, what he thinks a Brock Purdy deal will end up looking like. And let me tell you, if the San Francisco 49ers sign Brock Purdy to that kind of deal, I'm going to come out and say it right now, it's a mistake. I firmly believe if they pay Brock Purdy that kind of money, they will have egg on their faces before that deal is over. And it is not a good-looking deal. Now maybe the 49ers come out and they front-load the hell out of the contract, and it allows them to have flexibility as the contract moves along, and they can surround Brock Purdy with the appropriate talent to help Brock Purdy excel. But just on the surface, just looking at the numbers, the amount of guaranteed money, $198 million fully guaranteed, I have an issue with that. I also have an issue with the 5-year deal. And don't get me wrong, I like Brock Purdy. I just don't love Brock Purdy. And my reasoning for saying that this could be a mistake is that you don't pay a guy that kind of money who you have questions about. There are questions about whether or not Brock Purdy can play in the elements. Really, for me, it's not even really a question. I think it's a proven fact at this point that Brock Purdy struggles mightily when the weather isn't perfect, when the ball is a little bit wet or things are not just ideal. Brock Purdy's hand size becomes a problem. His command on the ball becomes a problem in the elements. I don't want to pay a guy, who can't really, get the job done in the elements with that kind of money. I'm good on that. And that's not even bringing up the elbow issues, the nerve issues that he's sustained, the shoulder problems, the arm fatigue, those problems, the fact that he is smaller in stature and has been banged up throughout his short career in the NFL. I'm not a fan of paying a guy that much money that you have, some serious questions about. And not only that, the 5 years on top of that is a whole nother ballgame. Yeah, I know Brock Purdy's only 25 years old, but paying him 5 years, but you have some questions about his durability, questions about how good is that elbow really, questions about his arm strength in general, questions about whether or not he can elevate a team when the chips are down, when he's missing a couple guys. The great guys, the ones that deserve the kind of money that we're talking about when it comes to Brock Purdy, they have shown the ability, they have the track record, they have the past resume to tell you, yes, they can elevate the team when the chips are down. Guys like Lamar Jackson, I know he had Derrick Henry this year, but look what Lamar Jackson has been able to do over the years with a lackluster supporting cast, aside from Mark Andrews. I mean, he elevates that team. I'm not even the biggest Lamar Jackson guy, but the facts are the facts. Lamar elevates that team. Patrick Mahomes, he's elevated that team without Tyreek Hill. He's elevated that team with a pretty average, roster around him outside of Travis Kelce on offense. Guys like, let's see, who else? Josh Allen. Yeah, how can you forget Josh Allen and what he's been able to do without Stephon Diggs, with a very average or below average receiving core. I'm not a fan of paying Brock Purdy that kind of money when last year things were a mess. He was missing some guys here and there. Things were happening, and he didn't really elevate the team. Just my opinion. Just my 2 cents. Maybe they pay him this money and he goes on to win a Super Bowl and I look like an idiot. But just right now, here we are, April the 4th, 2025. I feel like if they pay Brock Purdy 5 years, $267.5 million with $200 million guaranteed damn near, I think it's a big mistake. Again, they could front load the deal and make it very flexible moving forward, and it won't hurt the Niners in terms of the salary cap or their ability to go out and get players. And maybe that's why the 49ers haven't really spent a ton of money this offseason, because they're planning on front loading the ever-loving hell out of this Brock Purdy deal. And maybe that's the case. And they're also looking down the barrel at a George Kittle extension, which is, could be $20 million annually. So maybe that's why they haven't spent a lot of money. And if that's the case, and they are able to front load this Brock Purdy deal and make it more palatable going down, down the road, then okay. But just on the surface, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it, and I like Brock. And can you win with Brock? Yes, the 49ers have shown that you can win with Brock Purdy, but that's when you have, the Avengers, when you have a Pro Bowl roster around him. And going forward, it's not, it's not guaranteed that's going to be the case, especially when you're paying Brock Purdy that kind of money. It's just $53.5 million a season for Brock Purdy. You're paying you're paying elite money to a quarterback who, on any given day, top 10, maybe top 15, typically. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. And I know people are going to say the market is the market. You have to pay the going rate. That's what quarterbacks get paid. The next guy is the highest paid guy. I understand all that. And I also understand when people say, oh, but look at what Tua Tagovailoa down in Miami is making. Or look at what Trevor Lawrence is making. Look at what Dak Prescott is making. Brock Purdy belongs, to be making more than those guys, right? But my counter to that is, don't you think those organizations have regrets over those contracts right now? I mean, look at what Tua's doing. Look at what Trevor Lawrence has done. Dak Prescott, I mean, come on. We all know Dak Prescott is not worth $60 million a year. So, if you want to come back to me with that argument, my response is, do you think that those franchises are regretting those contracts right now? Because I do. And I think if the 49ers ultimately pay Brock Purdy what they're reportedly rumored to be paying Brock Purdy, I think in the long run it may be a mistake, especially the length of the reported deal being 5 years. I was hoping for something more short term. That way we could really fully assess Brock Purdy moving forward and get out from under him, rather quickly if things go south. Now, I'm sure Parag Marathe, John Lynch, and the San Francisco 49ers will do their best to structure this thing in a way to where it won't kill them if they want to get out from under it in 2 years, which is typically their style on all these big contracts. After 2 years, they can get out from under them without too much damage. But just a 5-year deal for Brock Purdy with the concerns that I have about his health and his injury history and that elbow and the repeated nerve damage now that he's suffered and the arm fatigue. I have questions. I don't know if the 49ers have questions, but I have questions. And, I know that also the argument some people will bring up is that the NFL Players Association will not allow Brock Purdy to take less. And I fully understand that because the NFL Players Association, in their minds, hey, the next guy being the highest paid, it goes great for the players. It's a great thing for the players. That's how all these contracts work. The next guy up is the one that's the highest paid. And I understand that. And the NFL Players Association will not allow the 49ers to get a hometown discount on Brock Purdy because it's going to mess up their whole algorithm, their whole structure with how they want contracts to go around the NFL. But I feel like you pay Brock Purdy this kind of money, and there's going to be some problems. My personal opinion. And again, before people jump down my road, I like Brock. I just don't love Brock, and I think Brock should be paid, but I don't think he should be paid elite money because he's not elite. At least not yet, not in my eyes. So, Niners fans, let me know down below what you think. What do you think about this reported rumor? $53.5 million per season over 5 years, $267.5 million guaranteed, with nearly $200 million guaranteed on the table, according to one Twitter source. Hey. We'll see. The 49ers offseason program starts here in a couple of weeks, and Brock Purdy, of course, wants to have that deal done before then so he doesn't miss anything. We'll see if the 49ers get it done before then. But I'll be back soon with some more videos. We do have the draft upcoming. I will have my thoughts on the NFL draft, thoughts on any other Niners news and whatnot. I will be doing some live streams here coming up, so keep it locked right here on Keeping the Faith. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, notifications on, all that good stuff. But until next time, let's go Niners.